Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the QubicaAMF Tech Tip Podcast. This is a weekly podcast where we take you on a journey through the fascinating world of bowling technology and beyond. And like I mentioned on one of my first shows I did, I feel like when I'm saying that, I'm like, I should have some kind of cool music going. I think I'm gonna have to look into that. But as you may know, I am your host, Orly. And as always, I have a guest on with me with a lot of knowledge. Today we have Charles Craig on with us. Charles Craig is a QubicaAMF Max training specialist. Charles, welcome to the show.
Hey there, Orly. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on the show. You have so much knowledge and you definitely are helping a lot of people out by doing these podcasts. So we enjoy having you back on here.
Always happy to help out.
And Charles, today what I want to talk about was customizing Conquer receipts. When someone needs to do something with their receipts, when it comes to that, where would they go and what can they all change and what can they customize?
Yeah, of course. So there's a couple of things that we can do to modify receipts that would be going to our customers. Uh, some of those can be changing the font. Maybe you'd prefer something more bold, something a little bit easier to read, and in the same vein, changing the size of the font. Um, we can also add some custom text to the font so that it's a little bit more personal to your center. All those changes would be done through Conqueror, and we would do them from each terminal. So we would jump into our Conqueror, we would go to our setup and then our terminal setup. Once we're in there, go over to your third tab that's labeled as print, and then going down towards the bottom of the screen, we see a couple different options here. So original receipt identifier and duplicate receipt identifier. I always like to know if I've given somebody a reprint of a receipt or if it's the original receipt identifier. Put something on there like original receipt. Duplicate, put in something like reprint. That just helps you identify your receipts. Under our next big option there, receipt header preview, this is where we can put something on the top of the receipt that clearly says, hey, this is our bowling center. So something like, thank you for visiting us. Please come back again. Maybe put an info that says ABC Bowling Center, your phone number, address, something that'll make that receipt stand out so that when someone goes fishing through their bag later and they pull it out, they immediately know, oh, this from when we went out Friday night. Option right below that is a receipt footer. So this part is, I think, really helpful because we could use it for something like a bounce back coupon or something.
Okay.
If you ever go to like McDonald's or something, and on the bottom of the receipt or the back of the receipt, they have a bring this back for a free burger or 10% off your next meal.
Yeah.
This is a great place to use something like that. And maybe if you're not working on a marketing campaign like that right now, you could put something friendly there that just says, thank you for visiting, or another great day in bowling, whatever you'd prefer it to
Yeah.
say. After you do that, hit save. The other section that we can go to that would customize the receipts for us is one tab over. So not print, but under printers. The very first option you have there in the upper left, receipts on, and then it'll list the printer that it's going to. Right below that drop-down box, there's a button that says font. When you click on that, a new box will pop up. There's a button there that we can check that says use custom font. What that will let us do is on the left-hand side, pick whichever of the Windows kind of default fonts we want to use. And then on the right side, it'll let us pick the font size that we want to use. This is really good for maybe you want to have a little bit bolder font or a larger font, or maybe something even just more playful that maybe fits the other branding you have in the center. This would let you go in there and change that. Once you select all those options, go ahead and hit OK and then hit save. I recommend printing a few receipts out just to give it a test to make sure that the font and the size that you picked are really what you want. And if you're happy with it, then you're good to go.
All right. Sounds easy enough. I was thinking something in my head. I was like, I wonder if anybody ever calls. We're not calling anybody out. Does anybody ever call and say, how can I make the ink darker? when they just probably need to change their ink ribbon.
So yeah, that does happen sometimes. It's important to remember that all your printers at your front desks are going to be thermal printers. The only ribbons that you're really going to have to deal with are if you have kitchen printers, because those will actually be that red and black impact cartridge that you may
Gotcha.
need to replace.
Gotcha. Okay.
One other important thing, that those changes that we just made to our printer for what our receipt looks like with what verbiage we have on it, but then also what the font looks like, that is going to be terminal specific, meaning if I've made that change on my front desk one computer, I should go and make matching changes to my front desk two computer. Reasoning behind that being terminal specific, maybe you'd like your bar terminal to say something different than your front desk terminal. It just helps you kind of customize by each specific terminal.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, Charles. Well, as always, I appreciate your time. I know how busy you are. And if you are new to the show, make sure to share it with your friends. Let them know we are on all major podcast platforms. Tech Tip Podcast. Look it up, listen, gain knowledge. And until next time, we will talk to everyone soon.